Welcome to the Reselling Minute with your host, Froggy Flips.
Welcome to a very special weekend edition of the Reselling Minute, where we uncover the top reselling stories from around YouTube and social media at large. I am your host, Froggy Flips. To start tonight's broadcast, we are going to go live to a press conference being held by none other than Froggy Flips broadcasting spokesperson, Froggy Flips. Let's see what he has to say. We at Froggy Flips International are very pleased to announce that we have signed a deal to air a weekly broadcast of the Reselling Minute. Although we are showing a one-off special weekend edition tonight, be sure to check back every Monday for a new episode. Also, tune into the Froggy Flips YouTube channel throughout the rest of the week for our normally scheduled reselling video content. This is an open-ended deal that will continue indefinitely or until we notice a significant increase in unsubs or thumbs down. I will not be taking any questions. Are there any questions? Well, there you have it, folks. Fascinating stuff. Startling news out of Virginia tonight, where Justin from RVA Flips was awakened in the middle of the night by a disturbance from his Ring doorbell. The images show a creepy figure wandering aimlessly around his yard. The only reasonable explanation for this occurrence? The zombie apocalypse has begun in Virginia. God help us all. Chris from Flip with Chris has not uploaded a video to YouTube in 5 days. This seems very out of the ordinary for Chris, and judging by his last thumbnail, he may have just lost his mind. If you see Chris from Flip with Chris, send him our best. We go now live to special correspondent Redneck Resale, who has a story out in the field. Colton, can you hear me?
Yes, Anthony. And today's top story, Reverend Resale, is a gold digger.
Whoa, read the cue cards, buddy.
Oh, I apologize. Reverend Resales sells instruments for digging gold on eBay. He has numerous videos out on this very subject. So as you can see, we're out here in the field testing this theory. We got us a metal detector to sell on eBay and see if we can generate a profit. So go check out Rev's channel if you want to do the same. She found something. I'm Redneck Resale. Back to you, Froggy.
Metal detectors. Crazy stuff. Back in the news tonight, John, the Cincinnati Picker, and Lonnie from Garage Flips / Shed Flips have hosted a game show called Bolo or No Go. The first episode featured Dan from Art Vandalay, as well as Dave from Curtis Crafts. Judging by the huge success, I can only imagine this will be a regular feature, but only time will tell. If you'd like to see a rebroadcast of the first episode, well, it's on YouTube, so anytime. To finish off tonight's broadcast, we have a news segment from John, the DC Picker. It's an opinion piece that he calls the Reselling Gossip Minutes. DC Picker, how you doing over there? Looking forward to what you got to say.
Thanks, Aunt Honey.
Could you call me Froggy when we're on the air?
YouTube reselling OG, Mike over at Global Voodoo, dropped a nicotine and alcohol lubricated 40-minute video on YouTube this week. The object of his ire, amongst others, was none other than the Warsaw Warhammer himself, Pete Craigslist Hunter. The specific problem that Mike had with Pete was that Pete makes videos saying how much he makes on eBay and then posts them here on YouTube, and then has the audacity to go ahead and say that he's going to file for one of these $10,000 SBA grants for businesses that are affected by the coronavirus outbreak. Mike goes on to call out other e-sellers, never by name mind you, and YouTubers who would have the audacity to go ahead and file and apply for one of these loans for things such as slow sales, or ad revenue being down on a monetized channel. Pete responded to these accusations in the comments, like a man, mind you, by saying he hasn't laid off any of his employees, and all of the overhead still exists for his storefront. He went on to say that he doesn't know how much longer he can keep his employees employed. The longer that the quarantine lasts, the less opportunity he has to use his storefront to make sales, which he says account for about 40% of his business. It seems like Pete's trying to do the right thing by as many people as possible. He's still educating people on YouTube, making videos every day, and trying to keep his brick and mortar employees employed. Listen, I love yelling at eBayers as much as anybody else. One of my most favorite activities is to make YouTube videos yelling at cheapskate eBayers. Do I think that the average eBay seller should apply for one of these SBA grants? Of course not. What about a YouTuber whose ad revenue is down? That's ridiculous. These are finite resources we're talking about. There are already banks cutting off applications, specifically Bank of America, where you can't even apply for one of these grants anymore. How would you feel as an eBay seller when, let's face it, everything still works? When it comes to eBay, sourcing is a little bit more difficult, but there are literally dozens of videos being posted on YouTube each week on how to source during the coronavirus. And you're taking an SBA grant away from someone who doesn't have the opportunity to make money like we do as resellers. You wouldn't feel very good. So all that being said, Mike may have missed the mark in picking Pete to be in the barrel. It's not the best example to go with. Pete has a larger overhead than most average resellers. He has a brick and mortar store with a number of employees. I don't know what the exact overhead that Pete is dealing with, but according to the SBA, you can only get $1,000 per employee. And in the course of a month, which is just about as long as this quarantine has gone on, I don't see that as being a ridiculous amount of money to even ask for it. Had Mike picked any other reseller out there to draw his ire, I probably would have been right there along with him. If you want to go ahead and watch the video and see the responses, head on down below where the link to that video will be. Also, a special thank you to the tipster who tipped me off that this was even going on. My name is John. I am the DC Picker. Thank you for watching the Reselling Gossip Minute.
Sounds like some dark days even in the reselling community, eh, John? Alright guys, that does it for us tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, if you have any stories that you'd like us to report on, or if you'd like to be a special correspondent, email us at froggyflips81@gmail.com or hit us up on Instagram at froggyflips. But from all of us here at the Reselling Minute, stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you next time. Love ya. Bye.